Hi, it's Mama Bear to Many here. I am here with one of my daughters. I have one, this is one of 10 daughters, and I have 14 children altogether. So we recently this year had to go gluten free, and we try to maintain being gluten free, especially some of us in our family. Some of us are cheaters. I might be a cheater on occasion when we're out somewhere. So we are really just trying to get this thing going on. And I find that if I can prep things ahead of time, then it's a lot easier. So I've tried a bunch of recipes and I wanted gluten-free bread that tastes like bread. Like I didn't want gluten-free bread that tastes like, I don't even like store-bought gluten-free bread. We can only really get one brand locally, and it's not good. It tastes like dry stale bread, and it's really kind of annoying. So she is making gluten-free bread, so I thought that we would take you along. I've made it quite a few times, and she is helping me make granola bars. So maybe we'll do a granola bar video in a couple minutes. Why don't you wash your hands and I'll be back in there in a minute.
Okay, do you want me to dump the peanut butter? It's all filled. I did one more little scoop.
Okay, then you can put it in there, in the bowl.
Okay.
She's going to put peanut butter in the bowl because we're making granola bars. Okay, so actually that brings me to a little thing is when I have my brain on my head and we have a few minutes, it is very nice to be able to prep some of your baked goods or your snacks or whatever that you need for the week, and it can just bless your family that way. So she is making this recipe. I modified the recipe quite a bit. I wanted one for it to be able to fit into a stone pan. Victoria, could you go grab me a stone pan, please?
It's a stone pan.
Like a bread pan?
Okay.
She's going to bring one and I'll show you what I do, because all the recipes that I kept seeing were for gluten-free bread in like these teeny pans so that they would rise appropriately. And for our family and to make like a sandwich, I wanted a bread that was actually going to work. If I'm going to be gluten-free, I want food that tastes good. I don't want to be eating cardboard. I don't know anyone who wants to eat cardboard, but they just kind of do it because the lack of knowledge, skill, or recipe, or whatever it might be. I mean, when we first started out, it really, and even now, it's really a learning experience. So I find that the more prepared I am, then the better I'm going to eat. So I did this separately. This is just, I'm doing 5 cups of hot water. So this is going to make, she went to go grease the pans. This is going to make 3 of the stoneware pans. So it's 5 cups of warm water between 95 to 110 degrees. That's pretty much most people, if you like turn your water on mostly hot, if you have your thermostat thing set at 120. Usually if you turn it on hot, then that would be your temperature. So there's going to be 5 cups of that, and then there's going to be half a cup of honey or sugar or whatever you want, but we're using honey. And then it's 9 teaspoons or 3 tablespoons of dry active yeast. And so we mix that in here. It's kind of full. To proof. So what we would do is normally we'd let it proof and then add all the ingredients on top of that in the bowl or whatever, but we just did the proof separately so you can see it proof for a couple minutes. So these are my pans. I got some from Pampered Chef. My daughter-in-law had done a Pampered Chef thing, and Victoria, please stop.
Okay.
My daughter-in-law had done a Pampered chef thing, and I'm not a super fan of Pampered Chef, but I do like their stoneware, and so I decided to. I just feel like they're overpriced. I have nothing like against them. I just feel like you can usually get what they have for cheaper. So, but the price of the stoneware was actually fairly good. So I ended up getting a couple from her, and then I got a couple off of Amazon later because I didn't know anyone that was having a Pampered Chef party. At that time, Pampered Chef was cheaper than, do you need me, Victoria? Pampered Chef was cheaper than Amazon, but now it looks like Amazon is cheaper than Pampered Chef. So you'll have to just check your prices. So anyway, we oil these with coconut oil here, and that's all we have in there. I'll use 3 of these pans. This is a regular 9x5 pan. And so what we're going to do is I'll give you the recipe. So I took a recipe and then I really tweaked it a lot to make it my own. So I'm using a blend that like I created just for this recipe. So it would be 10 cups of gluten-free flour. I know they're all different, so I'll show you this. I'm using this. I'm using this just because honestly, this is the cheapest and most available that I can get. So I'm using this, 10 cups, and then 2 cups of almond flour, and then not half a cup, 1 cup of flaxseed. So those are my flours. Again, that's 10 cups of the gluten-free flour, 2 cups of the almond flour, and 1 cup of the flaxseed. Then I am going to add to that. Did you do? Oh, you did. Okay. Then I'm going to add to that 4 teaspoons of baking powder, 4 teaspoons of salt, 1 cup of oil. I usually use avocado oil. You can melt down. I have melted down coconut oil and used that before. I was just being lazy, so I used avocado oil because it didn't need to be melted down. And then I would need 12 egg whites. I know that's a lot of egg whites.
Excuse me.
What?
Do you want another scoop of peanut butter?
No, I don't. I want you just to wait a minute for me, okay?
Okay.
And then 12 egg whites. So once we do the egg whites, I keep the egg yolks like this. So this is a dozen egg yolks in here. And what I will do is I will add probably 6 to another dozen eggs to that. And then I'll just make scrambled eggs like tomorrow morning with it. And then 3 teaspoons of apple cider vinegar. So that is what we do. And so we have this in here. And to that, I'm going to add that. And now we're going to turn this on. You just watch it when it looks mixed. So you don't want to really over mix this, and it's going to come out like not like a regular. If you're used to making bread, it's not going to come out like that at all. It's going to come out more like if you're making banana bread. That's how it comes out. But do not add more flour. That is a huge thing. Do not add more flour. And when you are taking your flour and measuring it out, don't scoop your flour out, but take your measuring cup like this and like spoon it into the top so it's like light and fluffy on there. You do not want to like over flour this or else it's going to be rock solid. So we're going to check this. Oops. Can you grab a scoopable measuring cup? Oh, you have one. Good. Should have already on top of it. Look at that. So I'm just going to scrape the edges, make sure it's all mixed in. And that's exactly what it should look like. We're going to take this off. See, I even beat it with a whisk. I don't actually have cookie paddles, so I either use, and it's broken too. I'm supposed to have another one on the other side. So I'm going to line up. Let me move you guys back just a little bit. I have a little bit of a mess going on over here. I've been sewing the past couple of days, and now I'm trying to do this. So here we go. Put these here, and then just scoop. It took me a while actually to find a recipe that worked. I'm still looking for a roll recipe. We tried a few different on Thanksgiving and nothing really came out the way that I wanted it to. So I'll still be looking for that. If you have a gluten-free roll recipe that you really enjoy, I would love if you could link that to me. That would be wonderful. Or you can email me at blessedmamabear@yahoo.com. I would love that. That would be great. Because we all know that finding good recipes are hard to find, especially gluten-free ones. So
What are we making?
we are making bread.
Bread. I like bread. What type?
Just regular bread.
Oh, regular.
Gluten-free bread.
Let's go see what time it is. Do you want me to help with anything?
This does go bad a lot faster than some other breads do. So I would use it, if you can, try to use this up within like 3 days. Of course, it's best the first day because all bread is best the first day, especially warm out of the oven. Yum. So we're going to have this. We're going to do butternut squash soup for supper tonight and then this bread to go with it.
It's at 2 and 12.
And there we go. So I'm just going to spread the top here. Kind of flat.
To the 12.
Thank you. All right. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take these and I'm going to put. You probably remember your grandmother used to do this. You just take a wet cloth, a wet towel, a warm wet towel, and you put it over the top, and then I'll let those rise until they're like at pan length, and I'll take it off, let them rise for another 10 minutes or so, and then I'll pop them in the oven, and they will come out great. So I will be back when these are all done. And that's what they should look like when they're ready for the oven. So we're going to pop those in the oven and I'll be back when they're done.